Namaste, myself Parvati Jitkumar. Here I am going to explain the basics of Python programming. This video is mainly meant for plus 1 students, plus 1 computer science students. So, welcome to Python programming. So, before moving on to Python, let me introduce the very first term in programming, that is tokens. What do you mean by tokens? Token is the most simplest element of Python, of a programming language. That is, you know that Python is an interpreted language, not a compiled language. What do you mean by interpreted language? That means that in Python, the program is compiled line by line. The execution of the program carries on line by line. So, this token is the smallest unit that a Python interpreter can interpret, so or execute. That is what is called token. So moving on to tokens, as we said, token is the smallest element that a Python interpreter can execute. The different types of token in Python are, you have to learn this. First you have a basic understanding of what is a token, then it is easy for you to write a Python script or Python program. The Python tokens are first one keywords, identifiers, literals, operators and punctuator. So let us go in detail. First one, keywords. Keywords are reserved words in any programming language, not only in Python, but in any programming language. Keywords are reserved words, that is, words which have special meaning in that language. For example, in Python you can see the keywords are print, input, int, float, string, bool, dictionary, it is the short form of dictionary, DICT, list, tuple, etc. There are so many keywords. On the go, you can't, it is not able to by heart all the keywords. You can learn one by one. As we do in the program, you can learn one by one. So the keywords are reserved words which have special meaning in any programming language. Next, moving on to identifiers. What do you mean by identifiers? Identifiers are the names given to a variable. It can be any, we give we people have each name like that. In Python programming, the variables, the constants and the function. Function is also called a module in Python. All of this, that is variables, functions, all of these have special names. That names are called identifiers. So we already said that identifiers are the names given to variables or functions. So how do we name these variables or functions? There are certain rules for naming the variables and functions. The rules, here I have written some of the variable names. These what I have written in are all valid identifiers or valid variable names. How can you identify between a valid variable name and an invalid variable name? What are the rules governing the naming of variables? The first rule is that the name of a variable should start with either a character or an underscore. It is not allowed to start the variable name with a digit. That is, I can't name the variable like this. 1, 2, 3, x, y, z. This is not a valid variable name. And I can name the variable like this. That is num @1. This is a special character or a special symbol. A special character is not allowed in a variable name or a function. You can't use any other special character other than underscore. You can use underscore, as Python allows naming variables in using snake case. This is what is called snake case. First you give a valid string, or rather a valid name, then you can use underscore to concatenate two names. Then these are all valid identifiers, and this one are invalid identifier names. Then moving on to second token, we have discussed already keywords, then identifiers, then moving on to the third one, that is literals. The literals are the names given to constants. That is, different types of literals are there. The first one is numeric literal. Numeric literal is the name given to numeric constants. That is, see the example, x is equal to 10 and y is equal to 20. Here 10 and 20 are constants. So here they are both numeric literals. Then the next one is string literal, and I am using a variable name called name. Variable called name or var underscore name, concatenating two words. So I am using var underscore name, and I am giving it a value. It is a name, no? So I am giving it a value arrow. The value of this var underscore name variable is arrow. So this arrow is a string. It is a string literal. It is called a string literal. The next literal is Boolean literal. Next you have Boolean literal. Boolean, for Boolean you have two values, that is true and false. True means 1 and false means 0. The value of true is 1 and false is 0. But these are used as true or false itself. So if you want to create a Boolean variable, say x is equal to, you can give x is equal to 2. That means the value of the x is a Boolean variable and the value of x is true. Here true represents a Boolean literal. The next literal is, we have discussed already numeric literal, string literal, Boolean literal. The next literal is float literal. Float literal. As you know, the float variables allows real numbers or numbers with decimal values. The float literal is a value having a decimal point, or it is a real number. Suppose x is equal to 10.01. So this is a decimal value. So it is a float literal. Next you have, the last one is collection literal. Collection literal, it is a literal having a set of values or collection of values. The example of collection literal is list and tab. These are two collection literals in Python. Next, moving on to the next token, that is operators. Operators. There are so many types of operators. For example, arithmetic operators, relational operators, membership operators, identity operators, etc. Here, in operators, we can only deal with arithmetic operators. What are arithmetic operators? Operators which allow us to do arithmetic operations are called arithmetic operators. That is, normal plus, plus is for addition, minus is for subtraction, star is for multiplication, then division operator. This is an special operator called used for floor division. I'll explain that later. Then star is the exponential operator. And one more operator is there, that is the modulus operator to calculate the remainder after division. So these are the basic arithmetic operators in Python. The next literal is punctuators or delimiters. Delimiters. What do you mean by a delimiter? A delimiter is a symbol that is used to separate one value from another or to enclose some value. For example, delimiters can be, this is read as square bracket, and this is read as function bracket or parenthesis. This is also used as a delimiter. Then you can use semicolon as delimiter. Then colon can also be used as delimiter. So these are the Python tokens.